Ever wonder what really tips the scales? Gives one side a strategic edge in these really complex situations. Today, we're going to get into something fascinating. India's new long-range strike capability. It's called the Spice-250. And look, this isn't just about some new piece of hardware. It's about how technology like this can actually rewrite the rulebook, give you that edge.
Yeah.
So we'll explore what it is, why it's such a big deal, and what it all means. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is when you look at a specific upgrade like this one, the Spice-250, you start seeing these broader patterns.
Yeah.
In defense strategy, this isn't just a small step up. It's more like a strategic chess move. It forces others to completely rethink their defenses. It could shift the whole balance, potentially, without a single pilot even needing to cross into enemy airspace.
That's a really crucial point. Crossing the border or not crossing it.
Right.
Okay, so let's break it down. The Spice-250, it's a new long-range precision-guided bomb for the Indian Air Force, the IAF. And its main advantage, this is the game changer, right? It lets Indian jets hit targets deep inside Pakistan. Think air bases, radar sites, command posts, all without those jets having to fly over the border. We're talking a range over 300 kilometers.
Right, and that 300-plus kilometer range, that's incredibly significant, especially when you look at what else is out there. If you sort of connect the dots, the Spice-250 actually outranges Pakistan's PL-15 missile. That's the Chinese air-to-air one they use. The PL-15 is around 300 kilometers, and they're developing the TL-17 too, maybe 400 kilometers plus. So India having this longer range strike weapon used on their JF-17s and J-10Cs, well, a pretty strong advantage. It pushes back the zone where Pakistani jets can safely operate.
Okay, so the range is definitely a big plus, gives them that standoff capability. But beyond just reaching further, what does that actually do tactically? How does it help on the battlefield?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly where this idea of standoff attacks comes in. It fundamentally changes the risk calculation. Indian jets can launch these bombs from way back, well outside the reach of enemy air defenses, then turn around and head home. Safe and sound. You're not risking your planes or your pilots in the same way. It's about striking effectively while, keeping your own assets protected, minimizing that risk.
Right, minimizing risk. Makes sense. And it's not just lobbing it from far away, is it? You mentioned precision. How accurate are we talking?
Extremely accurate. It uses a combination of guidance systems, GPS, which everyone knows, but also electro-optical guidance, EO guidance. Think of EO like a really smart camera on the bomb itself, guiding it right to the specific endpoint.
Okay.
So yeah, it ensures very high precision, even if GPS signals are jammed or degraded.
So it's not just throwing it further, like you said, it's throwing a smart rock that knows exactly where to land. Pretty impressive.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. And this kind of pinpoint accuracy is vital for hitting high-value fixed targets, buildings, command bunkers, that sort of thing. Currently, they can launch it from the Rafale jets and the Su-30 MKIs. And there's potential for integration on the Tejas Mk1A and maybe the Mk2 down the line.
Okay, this tech sounds seriously capable, but here's where it gets really interesting for me. Why now? What was the trigger? Why did India need this specific weapon system right now?
Well, the context is key here. The source material points to a couple of things. First, ongoing tensions in the region. That's always a factor. But also, specifically, Pakistan actively upgrading its own air force. They've been getting those Chinese long-range air-to-air missiles we mentioned, the PL-15s. That directly challenges India's ability to control the air. So India needed something to counter that, a way to hit hard while staying safe, as the analysis puts it. It keeps their deterrence credible in this, evolving situation. It was about plugging a gap, basically, maintaining that strategic balance.
Right, maintaining balance. So let's wrap this deep dive up. The Spice-250, it clearly gives India's air power a boost. Operations can be more effective, definitely safer, hitting deep targets without putting your own jets in the line of fire. That's significant.
Yeah.
So I guess the final question is, what does this mean for the future, for air combat, for defense planning in general?
That's the big question, isn't it? It makes you think, how do these kinds of advanced standoff capabilities like the Spice-250 actually shift military thinking? Does it force adversaries to pour more resources into, say, air defense? Does it create a whole new dynamic, a new kind of aerial chess game? It definitely raises important points about the future of warfare and strategic stability, not just in that region, but maybe even beyond, something to keep an eye on.